Hey guys, it's Nicole, and today I'm going to try and make an attempt to get past this weird scrapbooking funk slump, whatever that I'm in lately, where I'm just not in the mood to do anything, but I have things that are due for different contests and just kind of different deadlines, so I'm trying not to necessarily focus on having to get something done by a certain time, but trying to get back into just enjoying the process. And I know a couple of people have asked about process videos with scrapbook generation kits. Okay, sorry. So back to what I was saying. A couple of people had asked about process videos with my scrapbook generation kits. I have been doing my kits 2 to 3 layouts a month for a challenge that I'm in. I just haven't had a chance or sort of the motivation to edit the videos. So I'm playing with the idea of trying to catch up on some video editing maybe next month. I think just with summer and having both kids here all the time, I'm just sort of falling into this. I'm only getting things done that I absolutely have to do. I'm not getting any of the stuff done that I wanted to do. So I'm just kind of struggling with that and trying to push through it. And today I'm actually toying with the idea of just going ahead and doing my layout start to finish in real time, and depending on how it goes, either I'll upload it and it'll be a really long video, or I can always go back and edit it and do a voiceover later. So we'll see how that goes. My kids are upstairs. My dogs like to play and they don't know how to play quietly, so if that sort of stuff starts coming into play, I may just go ahead and switch over to the typical process video editing, speeding it up and that type of thing. So not really being in the mood to scrap anything, not having anything sort of planned out. Typically, you guys know I like to plan stuff. If I'm gonna do a scrap lift, I will sort of think it through start to finish before I even make the layout. There's a lot in my editing and getting stuff ready to even do scrapbook generation kits. I don't have any right now that I have photos completely matched up to them. I have various layouts that either just need journaling or I need to find a photo that went missing, stuff that I've just tucked photos in but they're not like arranged how I would normally do a kit. So for today, I just grabbed our family photos from last fall, and I never even uploaded these to Facebook and shared with my family. Didn't frame any of them other than mailing out a Christmas card. That was all I had done with them. So I kind of like doing stuff like this because I know I'm going to get a lot of photos on a layout, and these are sort of the ones that help me get motivated. And when I've got a big stack of photos like this, I like to go through, I like to sort them and figure out which ones go together, and then I can figure out how to fit them on a layout and if I'm going to need maybe like a divided insert or something like that. And I typically like to sort of separate my photos in a way to where you know, maybe I've got a page of just his photos of him, or I've got, you know, a layout of photos of just her, and I can talk about her in my journaling. And that's just sort of where my mind goes. Yes, I could mix these together and do a layout like that, but I have photos of them together, and that's just where my mind goes. So like the ones where it's the 4 of us, I usually make a pile. The ones where it's just the kids together, I make a pile. And then there's stuff like me with kids. Husband with kids. This one, I kind of consider these more of just the random, spontaneous ones. Like, my husband's expression is not that great, but the rest of us, we're having fun. So that's typical for our family photos is And I don't necessarily, you know, say that they have to stay like this. This is just kind of what I do. I don't need that. So at this point, I've got 8 different categories in a sense. And then from here is when I'll break it down into separate layouts. And some of these bigger piles may end up either being two double page layouts or a double page layout with like an insert if I'm feeling like I really would prefer to have more of like the photo book look to those. Haven't really decided at this point. I'm probably going to go ahead and do a double page layout today, and I'm not feeling motivated or in the mood to try to tackle something that's a ton of photos, so I may try to go with like one of the smaller piles. So I'm going to go and move these. So maybe okay, so I think I'm going to look at either just the kids together or all 4 of us and just kind of see what I'm feeling. And I a lot of times will go ahead and figure out what do I have as far as landscape and portrait. So 12 photos there. Almost feeling like I'm in the mood for tackling the smaller group. So, and then normally with these being our family photos, and they're not, you know, they're good quality photos. I love the girl that we've been using for 6 years now. Normally I will leave them as a full 4x6. However, especially if I'm trying to fit this many photos on a single page and I've got stuff like this, I don't need all 3 of these to be a full frame. I can leave one of them to where I'm seeing the pretty fence in the field that we were in. And these I can consider either, you know, ditching one or cropping them into 3x4s and maybe spreading them out. Or, you know, putting it like this and focusing on, you know, the 3 of them hanging out, or 2 of them hanging out. I don't know where I'm getting an extra kid from. No more kids, no more. And I still haven't decided if I want to bother taking the time to try and find like a Scrapbook Generation sketch or just do my own thing. I think I'm so far out of the habit of scrapbooking that I just don't know what I want to do. And I went through my papers and stuff just real fast. I kind of wanted to use homespun, but then I came across this, and I'm drawn to this mostly for the wood and the fact that there's pink in it, because this year I threw some pink into our coordinated look, which typically we end up the same color every year. So I kind of want to go through this before I commit to any kind of a photo placement arrangement, because there may be like the 2x12 strips or even stuff like this that I want to be able to incorporate. and I'm typically drawn to stuff like this because it kind of saves me from having to do a title. I'm kind of one of these people where half the time, you know, great, let's put a title on it. The other time I'm like, why? So kind of drawn to either something like this or maybe something like this. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind to figure out where I want to put photos. The other thing I want to try to keep in mind is the fact that I have a lot of landscape photos. So I may want to either pair my portrait 4x6 up with something like this or fill in like a gap with something like this. And I was kind of kicking myself because I know that I have the coordinating brads that go to this, but I must have pulled them out to use with something else, would be my guess, because I couldn't find them when I was flipping through here. And then stuff like this I typically won't touch because I've got a slight thing with Polaroid stuff like this. So like this one I won't even consider cutting up for this because I like saving this to use as a layout. Okay, and I was hoping that, see, this is an older collection, I was hoping that there would have been more of like the pattern style papers, or that I had the 6x6, and I looked real quick and I did not see the 6x6, so now I'm thinking I don't have it. So, since I thought that that might happen, oh wait, okay, it looks like I have some extras from a warehouse box, so I'm going to pull some of the ones that I passed on the first time. Okay, so then when I was going through my stuff, I found this, and yeah, it's a different collection, but Simple Stories tends to use the same, like, large color palette that they pull from across their lines. So typically, like, they'll only use 3 or 4 different yellows, so you can kind of pull yellows from different collections, and you know it's going to be the same tone. So when I saw that this was wood, I thought it might be good to try. Okay. So, I found my trimmer somewhere. Okay, I had to go rent a movie for the kids and get them set up downstairs so I could maybe have some peace and quiet. This is typical of how I scrapbook. It's like 5 minutes here, turn off the camera, run downstairs, come back 2 hours later, try to figure out where I was going. Okay. I don't want to cut all of these apart if I'm not going to use all of them right away. So, I feel like I'm borderline, like, one more interruption and I'm just done for the day. Like, this layout is not going to happen. So my luck, somebody will probably ring my doorbell. not sure. Okay, so since I'm not sure where I'm going with this, let's take a second and figure out a game plan. And this is not typically something that I ever normally talk my way through. So, let's see how this goes. But, I don't know how, like, other people figure out their photo placement, especially when you're doing a ton of photos on one layout, but like usually I would never put the three of these together, and I'm actually kind of leaning that way today, but I almost always split them up just because they do look so similar. So I almost kind of want to keep this one separate. Maybe do let's see what's in here. I don't even know why I bought these. Ooh, these are big. Oh, that's so big. Okay, I'll come back to that. Okay, so I'm thinking I can kind of maybe tuck this in to like a row of photos. I don't know, this is probably one of my favorite photos from this day. And this spot that we were at, our photographer, she had been trying to get me to go there for years, but it's probably a good hour and 15 minutes from us. And I just kind of told my husband, this is where we're going. Like, you're gonna have to just be okay with it. And he was like, you know what, we only drive and deal with photos once a year. Like, I don't really care. And he tells me every year, just tell me what I'm wearing and where I'm driving. Okay. This is where I kind of get a little bit stuck. I am liking this here. And, hey honey, when I was originally laying these out, I don't like to do this because it just kind of looks like it's too similar. I just don't care for that. And with having these three being similar and wanting to split them, so my go-to would be to just kind of pick one, and I would probably pick one where they're not hugging, because they're hugging in this one. This doesn't make any sense to me. Like, this is just kind of where my brain goes. I don't know that there's any sort of design principle behind this or anything like that. It's just what I like. I'm almost thinking about maybe trimming this smaller, tucking it up there with that one. Doing something like this. But then they're all sitting. Okay. I think I'm going to do something like this, and then I can fill in. So this is where I come back to stuff like this. And this pretty much says the same thing. Be happy instead of be grateful. Okay. Don't really like the yellow. Kind of leaning towards this one. And typically I will check the back, because the back is one that I really like. I'll kind of make a different decision there. But I think I'm going to go with this one. And I think, like I was talking before about not necessarily feeling motivated or in the mood to scrapbook, I noticed I haven't been watching YouTube. I haven't been sort of following the people that I normally would follow on a daily basis. And I'm kind of trying to get back into it, especially because for whatever reason, 2 of my favorite channels are doing video a day. One is Grace Tolman, which we're doing the monthly celebrations collab, and I love her stuff. She somehow manages to make her stash work for her better than anybody I think I've ever seen. And then the other person that I'm sure a lot of people are watching this month is Nicole Jones 911. She's doing a video day, and I do like the fact that hers, she's mixing it up, and it's not necessarily just a video day for a process video. It's a process video, and then it's, you know, room share and kitting stuff up. You know, it's different stuff every day, which is kind of fun. And I've very quickly fallen behind on watching both of them, so I do want to kind of get back into that because I feel like it probably would help my motivation levels. Okay, I don't think I'm going to use this because I feel like it's super close to that, but I gotta figure out where I'm going to put paper. I love paper. I already know I kind of want to do a border strip here, so I'll either do a border strip or maybe a sticker too. Can't decide. But I want to have paper here. Kind of leaning towards that. I feel like this would just be too busy with this going on too. Okay. So if I have these down to 4x4, so 8 by 12 is where I need this. But anyways, I'm hoping that if I get back into sort of watching my favorites, that I'll be maybe more inspired. I already know that a lot of the videos that Grace has posted this month, because I saw like the photos of them on Instagram, I'm already like, oh, I want to scrap lift that. Like, I don't have anything in mind yet, but I do kind of want to pick a couple that she's done this month and scrap lift them. And I almost want to force myself to just kind of sit down, pick a couple layouts that I want to for sure scrap lift, because that is probably one of my favorite things to do. And usually when I'm scrap lifting something, ideas are just kind of going. And there's even a couple layouts, an online friend, she has gone pretty much full digital with her scrapbooking, but she's still sharing online. And even some of the ones that she's posted, I'm like, I really want to scrap lift that, but obviously in paper format. So I kind of want to just sit down and, you know, maybe pick 6 or 8 things that I want to try to scrap lift, go ahead and edit my photos the way that I want them, send them out to print, and then that way it's ready. And I'm toying with the idea of trying to do one of those layout a day for a month things, but I feel like I would almost have to wait until maybe like October, just because my oldest doesn't go back to school until the middle of August, which is early for us. And then my youngest will start preschool, but the preschool doesn't start until middle of September. So really, I wouldn't be able to keep up on it until October anyways, and then my birthday's in October, and I noticed that Grace Tolman, she sort of did her birthday month, which I thought was kind of fun, but again, I'm still toying with it. There's a ton of like behind the scenes work involved, and the only way that I feel like I could manage it is if I can get on editing some of the Scrapbook Generation kits that I've done, and I just haven't edited the process video. I feel like I could use those for a couple fillers and just kind of mix it up a little bit like Nicole Jones did, and maybe do like a Workspace Wednesday video, or maybe even go live a couple times during the month and just kind of do stuff like this. But again, I'm just kind of playing with the idea. Okay. Where to go from here? I feel like I almost want to matte these photos just so that they stand out a little bit. And then as far as what's going on over here, I think I'm just going to do a couple maybe strips of pattern paper here. I want to be able to see a little bit of the background, so I'm trying to figure out paper for that. Maybe I'll go blue. With people that can make decisions quickly. Very, very impressed. Okay, I feel like sometimes I just have to say, go with it. It may not be exactly what I wanted, but at some point you just have to cut. And then I'll figure out, I usually like to have something separating my photos and my paper, like a border strip. And typically I would go dark, but I don't really like having something that's the same pattern going this way as going this way. See, none of this makes sense. This is why I do sped up videos and don't tell you the weird things that I'm thinking about, because I feel like it's just crazy. See, and Nicole Jones just uploaded a video. I'm already like, let's just stop and go watch hers. Okay. Okay, let's get it. Okay, and then sort of as I'm figuring this stuff out. Okay, let me get my chair. Okay. And I noticed that I've been doing that lately, where the part of the layout where I'm figuring out where things go, I'm standing because I can kind of see a little bit better. And a lot of times I'll even look in my preview of my, my video screen, because it's kind of like you can step back and take a look at it. Because there's been times where I've been working on stuff and I get up and I walk back and I'm like, oh, that's not looking cute. So, like I was saying, I'm wanting to jump back into posting more regularly on YouTube and kind of figuring out where I want to go with that. So I'm toying with the idea of a video a day, but I don't really know if people enjoy them that much or what. Like, I know I do, because especially if it's a channel that I really like, I mean, what's better than daily videos from your favorite channel? But then I wonder if people just kind of get bored of it after a while, or if, because, you know, maybe they do it once or twice a year, it's still kind of unique and fun. Okay. And then I've got another online friend who is really pushing for another online scrapbooking class. I have one that is sort of based solely on how to design your layout based around uncropped 4x6 photos, and sort of my method to it, in leaving enough space to still have places to embellish and get creative. And it was a lot of fun. It was a ton of work, but it was fun. And I had mentioned to her an idea that I had for another class, and ever since I mentioned it, she's like, when are you doing it? When are you doing it? I'm like, I don't know. And I don't know if it would be better to sort of take the slow approach and not immerse myself completely in class content, because that was kind of how I did the other one, where I did, you know, 4 or 5 layouts with the sketches and everything, and then I would stop and not work on anything for a couple weeks, or I'd go just put like a kit together, and then I would do the other 4 or 5 layouts. I almost wonder if it would just be better to take it a little bit slower and work on the stuff that I have deadlines for, and then, you know, maybe later on in the month, you know, scrapbook and see if the idea that I had for the class is actually working out on paper in a sense. Hi, can I need my stuff, thank you. And I should not have put these down. Excuse me. And this is another thing that I'm learning to work around. We had cats when we first got married. Okay, stop. And we had them for a few years, but it's been a really long time. So I'm getting reminders of how they are in everything. The other day I'm writing stuff down for the work from home stuff that I do, and I couldn't even write the date without her just like attacking the pen. Dogs don't do that. Dogs don't even notice. And she's still pretty much 95% an upstairs cat. She, a couple times the gate has been left open and she's gotten into a fight with the dogs. Pretty sure she started it. She's won every fight, so go Gabby, I guess. Still scary when it happens though. But I don't know. I think we're just taking it super slow on if, you know, her and the dogs are going to sort of get along, I guess. And yeah, because one of them, she can fit through the gate on the stairs. Like, it keeps the dogs out, but she's still skinny enough, believe it or not, that she can fit through the gate. And we had just come home from somewhere, and we had stopped at 7-Eleven, and I got the kids some Slurpees and got them situated at the dining table, and I don't know what her deal was, but she came downstairs, slipped through the gate, was saying hi to the kids, and the dogs figured out that she was down, and there was just a brawl happening underneath the dining room table. And she walked away the winner, so hi, no, that's mine. I'll give you the other one. Stop, 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 stop. Take that one. So, and I'm sure I'll get a couple comments of people being annoyed by the cat. People usually are annoyed by your cell phone's in the frame, your drinks in the frame. It doesn't bother me. Like, when I'm watching other people's process videos, I'm either watching for what they're doing or I'm watching for what they're saying. Like, I don't scrapbook in a similar style or even kit up layouts like Nicole Jones, but I love her videos. I feel like it's so relaxing to listen to her talk for some reason, and it's just kind of, it's almost like a TV show that I watch. I just enjoy it. Like, am I inspired in wanting to scrap lift her layouts? No, probably not. But I like her videos. I don't really watch, I don't really watch her, her book ones, mostly because I'm horrible about finishing stuff. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I finish books all the time, but my problem is I'm usually reading 6 or 7 of them at a time, and I'll go through a phase where all I'm doing is reading for 2 weeks, and then I won't for another 2 weeks. And I know that if I start watching her booktube ones, that it'll just be this whole other long list of things that I want to read. So I just stay away. And I have to say, I'm actually kind of weirdly excited that for some reason when I punched that polka dot paper, it ended up looking like the dots are lined up. Okay. So I'm liking that. Okay. I'm gonna do, and this is, like I've said in my class and in other videos, this is typically how I work. I figure out where I'm going to put the photos, figure out what I'm going to do with the paper, put my photos and my paper down, then I come in and do like all the pretty stuff. Okay. Hi, can you move over? Yeah, can you come over here? I almost want to just do like a white on white over here. For some reason. But, so yeah, leave me a comment below if you enjoy the video a day series that people are doing. Because, like I said, I'm thinking about it, but I'm the type of person that I'm really good at starting projects and I suck at finishing them. And I don't want to say I'm doing a video a day and then make it to, like, you know, the 20th day of October and I'm just like, nope, I don't have time, I don't have any more videos sort of in the queue, and, you know, not gonna happen. Like, I don't want that to happen. And the only way that I can sort of be successful in big projects like that is if I do a lot of planning ahead of time. Here, do you want this one? Hey. And like I haven't watched any of them, but I did, well no, I take that back. I watched Mama Razi's tag video that she did with another girl. I can't think of her name right now. But yeah, I keep seeing these tag videos and I'm like, I don't really know that I want to make one of those because my channel is pretty small. I don't really have a lot of people asking me questions, and I feel like if somebody does ask me a question, I most times will respond within a few minutes, you know, through my phone and answer the question. So I don't really want to sort of film, you know, a 10 or 15 minute video if there isn't not necessarily a need, but I don't know. Plus I feel like those tag videos, like once the time period of it being popular is gone, like there's no point. And I'm typically very late to the game on stuff like that. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to be down here. Hi. Only when it's time to glue, huh? Okay. I don't know. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. I feel like I can't talk and line stuff up at the same time. And then some of the other, I guess, reasons that I haven't been coming up here and getting stuff done. We had somebody gift us a little, and I mean little, pop-up RV, and it's like it's not the kind where like the top pops up and the sides come out. It like pops up like this, and it's like a little A-frame. Super cute. Our kids are still small enough that we should be able to fit, you know, all four of us in it, and our idea is to sort of use it for a couple years and figure out, are we even a camping family, and then maybe get, you know, maybe in a couple years get the kind where it, you know, the canvas sides come out the sides and that's the bed and you've got a little bit more room. And it's in pretty decent shape, especially for it being, I think it's a 1998. But there is some stuff that I wanted to do. I wanted to cover the cushions. And here's the thing. We did not have home ec at our high school. My mom wasn't really like a fix our clothes type of, I mean, she could, you know, she crochets and, you know, she taught me like cross stitch and stuff, but not just let's make some curtains type of thing. So thanks to wonderful YouTube, I managed to so far cover one of the 5 cushions, and I'm pretty freaking proud of myself. The front looks really pretty. The back, I don't care. And I had taken the one cushion out, and I had gone to Hobby Lobby and bought just like clearance bin fabric, because I was like, well, if it doesn't turn out and I mess it up, I don't, like $5 on fabric I'm fine with. So I had to go back and buy the rest of what was on the bolt after I figured out, okay, I can do this. So between two different videos on YouTube, I figured out how to use my sewing machine, which I bought, oh gosh, maybe 10 years ago. It's the little Janome mini one that was like big for scrapbooking, and I never used it because I couldn't figure it out. And I remembered the videos that I had followed years ago on how to thread it and everything. Got it going, covered a cushion, and I'm like, awesome, I'm pretty sure I can do this. And so I had my husband pop up the RV so that I could get the rest of the cushions out, and in my mind I was like, yeah, I think there's only like a couple little curtains that I can maybe figure something out for. He pops the trailer up and I go in there and I'm grabbing the cushions which go around like the area that you eat on, and I either didn't look very close or just assumed it was, you know, individual cushions, but the whole back cushion, which is the width of the RV, is one cushion. And I'm just like, you know. So I pull this thing out and it's basically about, you know, as, I don't know, as wide as me and at least 6 feet tall, that I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to cover that. So just when I was feeling great about the little ones, I'm like, oh. And then I was taking a couple pictures of the interior to send to somebody that I was talking to on the phone about all this, and I get to looking and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many window coverings in here. So now I'm just like looking at this giant project thinking, oh, okay, one cushion at a time. What are you doing? Hey, no, leave it, leave it. Oh, man. Hey, stop. Okay, so this is where I'm at so far, and I'm liking the layout. Probably when I'm done filming, I will type up my journaling into strips because I have to do 3 layouts before the end of July. So I'm probably going to do my 3 layouts over the next couple days, do my journaling all at once, and just do a one-time print job. And I'm going to do strips. I like doing strips, especially when I'm doing journaling for more than one layout at a time, and it makes it easier for me to be able to fit it in to different places. And so I'm thinking, to help make this not look so flat, because it is, I mean, it is flat, I'm gonna put some stuff on top and pop it up and make it look a little bit more interesting. And then I think I'm gonna trim some thin strips of this to break up where my photos are, because that just bothers me. And I feel like if you know what bothers you, just go with it. Like I have said in previous videos, like I don't really follow things like, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that. No, I'm gonna do what I like, the way that I like it, and every once in a while I'll try something new. So, thinking, okay, just go with whatever's handy. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can find my pen. Okay, I already got sidetracked looking for a clue pen and ended up on the internet, so here we go. Okay, so all I've done was glue these back on. I'm still trying to figure out, I know I want to kind of add to this. I don't typically feel like you have to follow the rule of, you know, having 3 clusters. I think it's a good place to start. So I already know I'm going to try to do something here. I might try to do a little bit of something up here, or maybe over here. When I was pulling stuff out, I had grabbed these because I thought maybe these are probably like one of my favorite embellishment packs, but I like stuff. Oh, this is cute. Already getting distracted. Okay, so I thought I like stuff like this. So I'm thinking I might put that back there. I'm going to try to focus over here. Okay, I need foam adhesive. Okay, I've never used these, but somebody gave these to me, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a try. I don't feel like cutting up my big roll. These remind me a lot of the Stampin' Up! Ones, only thinner. So I'm kind of liking that. They gave me black ones too. I don't really know when I would use them, but okay. This is why I like my Scrapbook Generation kits, because they have already figured out which stickers to use. Okay. I feel like when I have this many choices, it's just insane. Okay. I'll go with this guy, and let me see. Try to zoom in for you guys. I did just post, if you are on the private message board that I mentioned, I know there's some of the girls from there watch my channel. I just posted a thread kind of asking for input as far as things that people like to see on YouTube. If you're not on that message board and you want to leave me some input, I would say leave it down below the video. And it was basically, I asked about what people think about the video a day series that that a lot of people do, stuff like this. So non-sped up edited videos, how they feel about those. What else did I ask about? Oh, other types of videos. Like, do you like the couple that I've posted where it's sped up with music and it's cleaning or it's organizing? You know, how do you feel about stuff like that? I'm just kind of looking for general input. I feel like I need some motivation is what I need. And I'm hoping that some of the stuff that I have been posting, people are finding interesting. Oh, I have 6 minutes left on my battery, or not my battery, but my card. So, let's move on here. Make a decision. Here. I'm gonna go with this, because I mean, I do have some ideas for stuff that I would like to post on my channel. I just I feel like I haven't been online lately, so I don't feel like I have a good indicator as far as what people are enjoying lately. Because I'm the type that I will just I'll watch stuff that's 5-6 years old. Okay, so since I don't have very much time left on my memory card, I went ahead and just finished up the stickers and stuff. So basically, I just created a cluster here, just tucked a sticker back here. I popped this one up. You saw me put this on already. I added this little phrase sticker, and then I did 3 different color enamel dots. So this one is like the teal from the collection. Here I just added a couple things right here just to kind of help this look a little better, and like I said, later I'll go ahead and add my journaling strips. That won't be in this video. And then I just added a little cluster up here. So again, 3 different color enamel dots for the 3 different areas. So so yeah, I just have to do my journaling and cut off this little overhang, probably add the date before I put it in my album and share my photo on the challenge thread. So yeah, so I'm done. Let me know if you guys like this style video for my channel. I know it works for some people, it doesn't work for others. Not gonna hurt my feelings. Just drop me a comment below and let me know what you think. So until next time, guys.